Okay. Hi. My name is Missy, and I am here to do the bullshit and the lesson for April the 18th through, what is it, the 25th, I believe, or 26th, something like that. I haven't exactly decided on which cards I want to use yet today. I guess we're going to find out as we get into the reading. Hopefully the sound quality and the video quality will be better today as well. I have a new microphone and a different setup. Give me a second to get things set up. I'll be back. Okay. Give me a second to pray. Oh, we've got two of them already. So our first group is going to be Chaos Mom. Our second group is going to be the Toilet Angel. You can't see these. I love this deck. Even though they're trying to make fun of tarot readers and stuff, I just love this deck. Okay. There we go. That's our third pile. A woman breastfeeding a VCR. Interesting. Okay. So those are our three groups to choose from today. Obviously, this is going to be the bullshit aspect of the bullshit and the blessings reading. So, you know, which one of these represents the bullshit going on in your life this week? Take your pick. Go ahead and feel free to pause the video if you want. I'm going to continue shuffling so that we can get a couple. I want to get a couple of we're going to get a couple of these oracle cards. I totally just said that wrong. I completely misspoke. You don't have to pick one pile is the way that I should have said that. You can choose one, you can choose two, you can choose all three. You can, if none of these are resonating with you, you can wait until I shuffle and then choose based on the oracle cards here. And one thing that I do want to point out, just because I think it's hilarious and I think it kind of applies to all of the groups here, the bottom of the deck, we have the super horny porno owl. And Yeah, I have to be honest, as a general reading for everyone for this week, everyone I mean that is coming to watch this reading, I feel like you kind of have this like a horny thirst for knowledge, if that makes sense. Um, if it's not, I mean, you could be horny, but if it's not like a thirst for knowledge, uh, I think it's a thirst for answers. And a cat licking its own butt for eternity, I mean. So it's a thirst for answers about something that just keeps going on and on and on. And obviously, if you look at all of these cards, like, oh God, this is just so funny. I love these cards. Anyway, let's go on. Let me shuffle, get a couple oracle cards to see, and then we'll move into each individual reading. Even if the card falls face up, we're not going to read it until we're done the reading for that specific. And so this is where I have to say all the disclaimers that I really, really hate saying because they're just so awkward and uncomfortable. But these readings are general, or they're meant to be general in nature and timeless, even though I do put a date on them. If you're coming across this reading, I don't know, 2 years later, and it applies for your life, it's still meant for you. If the details fit, it is yours. If they do not fit, please do not try to make them fit. That will do more harm than good and is not my intention ever. I am not a doctor. I am not a lawyer. I am not an accountant. I am not a tax preparer. If you need a professional in any of the above, a professional who works in any of the above areas, please consult them. Please do not do something simply because I suggest it in this video. You are an adult who is responsible for your own life. Please use that responsibility to your advantage. More than likely, I'm going to say things like she or he or something else that sounds like I am putting a gender or a label on what it is that I'm trying to describe. I'm speaking of energy. If that offends you, I'm so sorry. If you are able to, look past that and understand that I'm simply speaking of energy. And not only that, I read the cards intuitively based on the imagery in the card first. So if I was reading this, I would call this a man. That doesn't mean I'm saying you are a man. If you are listening to this reading and the details resonate for your life and you are a woman, I am not calling you a man. If you can look past that, I thank you for staying. If not, you can find the door. I am very, very confident that those who are good with me will stay here, and those who are not cool with me will absolutely find the road. With that said, let's keep shuffling until we can find the blessings portion of the bullshit and the blessings this week. Well, we have one that wants to hang out, and I think instead of actually doing the hand over hand, I just really feel like I need to pull from the top of the deck. So that's what we're going to do. So now we have two. Okay. Now on the bottom of the deck for everyone, we have music. So music is going to be important. And actually, I feel like this is my reminder to put my earbuds in. I'm getting so caught up in trying to make sure that these videos look good and sound good. I keep forgetting one of the most important aspects of when I do these readings and how, how they all come together for me. So give me a second to turn on my Pandora and put my earbuds in. All right, well, since that song started playing, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for that, but I guess we're gonna find out. We've got Rock by The Dream is our first song, and we're still in the general portion of the reading, so that could pertain to someone. All right. So music is going to be important for everyone this week. I know last week I was confused. I thought we were having Easter last week. I think when I was recording the videos, that's what I was saying. And I guess it's actually tomorrow. I apologize to those people who celebrate. I used to celebrate all types of holidays, but I stopped a few years ago, not because of anything, you know, anything too big, just my own personal stuff. So, happy Easter to those who do celebrate. Yeah, I feel like music is going to be very important for everyone, but there's something about, if you look at the imagery here, so we have this woman praying. Interesting. So I feel like I have to be really honest. I feel like it's saying, and this could only pertain to one person, but I feel like it's saying if there's something you really truly have been praying for, it's like they want you to sing it. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. They want you to sing it. Okay. I'm going to leave that, and we're going to actually get into group number one. Okay. You know what? That's not going to work. Maybe I don't have as much room as I thought I did. All right, so our oracle cards for group number one, we have Surrender with the angel Zachariel, number 34. And then we have Fire with the angel Nathaniel, number 26. So I feel like it's saying surrender to the chaos, but we'll see. Let's see what else they want to bring out to add to the story. Now we have Bitch by Meredith Brooks. So for those who don't know, I listen to music as I'm doing the readings because I have learned over the years that the songs are absolutely going to pertain in some way, shape, or form for someone. So if you are not familiar with the song, you'll want to write the name and artist down so that you can look up the lyrics. Now, when it comes to the music, if I say look up the lyrics, that doesn't mean that every single lyric or the entire story of the song is going to pertain to you. It could be one particular thing, like the title, maybe just the title of this song pertains to group number one, and you could be having a lot of chaos in your house, and maybe your family thinks you're a bitch at this point, right? And this is, how this song pertains to you. I don't know, but we'll see. Like I said, it could be one particular sentence in a song, one word, one phrase, the chorus, the title, or just the artist, okay? So, like I said, Bitch by Meredith Brooks. The first song was Rock by The Dream. And I think we are going to use the So Below Tarot from the Book of Shadows set. So, one more group. Do you feel like this is saying surrender to the chaos? And because she's double breasted, she's got 4 legs, but she only has 2 arms. I feel like Obviously you're carrying the load, and it could be that you are not just carrying the load for your own household. I feel like because she's double-breasted, you're carrying the load for two households in some way. Whether that is that you work with children, because again, she's double-breasted, or maybe you have children with two different partners. All right. So we're actually starting off pretty good. Well, kind of good. So whatever's going on around your house, it looks like maybe you're winning in some way, but somebody else is not. And I think that's causing a problem. Maybe that's what's causing the chaos. I'm actually going to put these on either side over here. It just feels like they need to go there. I feel like this is the whole overall theme in terms of like what's going on with you. I feel like now that completes it. So I think now what we're going to do is a 9-card spread just to see what is it that you won. Could be that it's your birthday, literally, because they are celebrating a birthday here. So if that's the case, happy birthday. But if it's not, it's something that you won. And I feel like the people around you are just not happy about it for some reason. Or you're winning and the people around you are not happy about it. And I feel like those were to fall, so we're going to go with it. Oh my God, my nails are not letting me pick the card yet. All right. Okay, look, see, all positive. Look at that. The Knight of Wands with the Sun. All positive, all positive. This is like really, really good so far. And no, I do not lay out my 9-card spread the same way that most people typically do. Okay, so now we have Ashiniko. Hi, it's me. And actually, for those who don't know, I should be more clear. So the song is Hi, It's Me, and the artist is Ashiniko. I love this song too. Let's see. Oh, that one wanted to, but it decided not. Hold on. That's too many, I think. Yeah, that's just too many. I kind of want to do it one at a time. That was all me. I'm not sure what's going on. It's not wanting to give us much more yet. Let's give it a shuffle. So first of all, I wanted to wait until we got more cards, so I'll go ahead and explain the Knight of Wands with the Sun card. So first of all, this is someone who, obviously there's another celebration here. So, if it is your birthday, again, happy birthday. It looks like you're going to have a really good day or a really good celebration, first of all. But with this, it looks like there's been a lot of preparation put into something. You've been working really hard, and you're winning, or you won. Like I say, we need to fill out the rest of the spread to see what else is going on. What is it that you won? But the left column, for those who don't know, just to explain the spread that I'm getting ready to pull, everything that falls on the left-hand side is going to represent those energies that are, leaving your situation. They're the recent past. And so This is the energy in the center that you are currently dealing with. And then on the right-hand side, you have the energy that's going to be coming next, or the immediate future. And then here at the top row, this is what is on your mind, what you're thinking about. Everything that's in the middle is going to be what's happening again, and everything that happens in the very center is what's happening currently in your situation. So this would be on the left-hand side, what you were doing just recently in the past. This is what you're doing right now in the middle, the very center card, and what you're going to be doing next. And then on the very bottom row, the left-hand side is what you have control over, or what you did have control over in the past. The bottom middle is what you do have control over right now. And the bottom right is what you will have control over in the future, okay? So what you did have control over, or excuse me, what you did have on your mind in the past was you were putting in a lot of work, a lot of preparation, and a lot of planning for this victory. What's happening right now in your immediate current situation, or what's on your mind right now, is celebrating all of that preparation and planning that you put in, even though you're chaos mom, right? Like you've got quite a bit going on. You're still celebrating. Everything is good. You've got abundance. You've got happy people around you that love you. All right. And now we have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords in this particular card, she looks like, you know, she's really tired after a hard day of work. And obviously she has a lot of helpers here, because we see all the fairies with all the paperwork. There's quite a bit of paperwork just scattered all around her, but she's got all these little fairies, like little helpers. She's got her plans, or her, well, you know, this actually kind of looks like some astrology work. So maybe you're working on something that you're studying, because like I know for me personally, I'm always studying astrology. Just it's never ending. There's always something new for me to be excited about when it comes to all of this kind of stuff. So, you know, maybe that's what's going on for you. There's something that you're studying also kind of sitting off to the side. And but you're really exhausted. And here's the thing. The Eight of Swords typically in traditional meanings would talk about being in a prison of your own making, but this doesn't look like a prison to me. She just looks exhausted from a hard, long day of work. And she actually kind of looks a little bit satisfied. If I'm looking at her face, I don't know if you can see. She doesn't look sad or anything. She just looks like she's tired, but you know, like it's a good long day of work. So this is what's coming, you know, this is how you're going to be feeling, or, you know, seeing yourself in the immediate future is what I'm saying. So if you're feeling chaotic right now, you know, you're doing really good work. You're doing, and I think it's positive, like you're succeeding, obviously, or you wouldn't have this. She's holding the trophy here. Everyone else is jealous, but you're succeeding. I'm sorry to laugh about everyone else being jealous. That doesn't sound really nice, I know, but like, so what? If you put in the work, it's good hard work, they can just sit over there and cry in their Cheerios. Who cares? I don't even care if it's like people that are close to you that you really love, that really love you. If they feel that way about your success, let them feel that way, and let them know, is my opinion. I'm not going to try and take away my hard work. All right, so let's see. So now we have Separate Ways by Journey playing in the background, and I don't know if there was a song before that because I didn't notice, which means it wasn't important, but this one is. So the artist is Journey, the song is Separate Ways. Man, it's like nothing wants to come out. Oh, there we go. Okay, look, now we have the Six of Cups. So this is what's happening for you right now, but it's also the energy that's just leaving, right? Because it's in the recent past. So you may have just recently spent a lot of time like with your kids, maybe working on crafts or playing like something really fun, I think, or maybe that's what you're doing right now. Like also, again, I keep forgetting that it's Easter weekend, and I apologize for that. But, you know, obviously you're spending some time with family and having a good time. But that is energy that's sort of dissipating. And then now we have the Hierophant coming up next. So it's going to be like back to work soon. So if you're not already back, if you're not working right now, you're going to be back to work like within a day or two, probably a day from when you, well, actually, no, I'm going to post this on Monday. I keep forgetting, like from when I'm posting it right now, you guys are probably, right now, you're partying and having a good time with family, but it's going to be back to work by the time you see this. All right. So now we have the Two of Wands and the Moon. So the Two of Wands was first, which means in the immediate future, and actually with this Two of Wands, she looks like she's creating. Look at that. Like she's manifesting. She's got her athame in one hand and her wand in another. So we've got swords, fire, and well, so it's air and fire energy here. I thought I don't see any water energy, so air and fire. So with this manifestation, it's going to be probably writing, something creative, verbal communication, something maybe you're planning. There's something more that you're planning. So even though we've got planning up here in the recent past, it looks like maybe there's going to be some more planning. This might be like dreaming more than writing anything down, though, because we have more fire energy than we do air. We only have one sword. We do have a pentacle, which means, and the pentacle is around her neck, near her throat. So, and I brought out my little, okay. So you guys can't laugh at me. I actually have a choice of two different little pointers that I'm going to use for the cards. One of them is actually a dab stick, and the other one is like a crochet needle, but I think I'm going to go the good girl route today and do the crochet needle. All right, so you see she's got the pentacle around her throat, basically around her neck. It's sitting over her heart, but it's near her throat. So what's happening here is whatever this dream is that you're creating, you are planning it because we do have the swords energy, but it's also going to be, you are actually manifesting as well because pentacles are earth energy, right? It's actually tangible, something that you can hold in your hands. And hold on, the song that's playing in the background is You Broke Me First by Tate McRae, I think. I don't know, I can't, my eyes are bad. I'm going to give me a second. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Tate McRae, You Broke Me First. Anyway. Okay. So you're manifesting whatever it is, and there is going to be, there's a permanence to that, right? It is tangible. So it's coming from your heart, and it's words that are honest, right? So whatever you're planning and doing, this is a good thing. It's all positive. It's all, very, very heart-centered, heartfelt, passionate energy. Okay, so now we have the moon coming in for what you had control over in the past, which is your fear, right? Which is, it looks like you actually overcame the fear, which is also a good thing. And it looks like I need to move everything back further. I apologize that you're missing some of the imagery when I do that. I actually do have something coming soon that's going to be helping with you being able to see the clouds too, but I don't want to say too much. Not yet. All right. So let's see what you have control over right now. You were able to control your fear in the past, which is a good thing. Oh, those were kind of stuck there. It's like, okay, I have to say, typically when I give readings, the cards want to kind of fall out pretty easily. I don't really have this resistance. So also, I feel like whoever you are watching this, you're somebody who's very, very resistant to opening up. And that could be one of the reasons why whatever this is that's going on here, this manifesting, this passionate, from the heart, words that you're trying to express, but you're planning out like how to express it. Yeah, I feel like that's huge. And also this is huge because of this over here, and as well because of the fact that I can tell like you don't want me to know. And there we go, the last two cards. As soon as I say that, boom, the last two cards. Okay, you don't want me to know something. So then we have the Eight of Wands and we end with the wedding card. So, like, are you like planning, dude? Okay, whoever's watching this particular reading, I swear, like, you're writing vows for your wedding or something. Like, there's been all kinds of chaos and planning and all kinds of stuff going on, right? Right now, like what you have control over right now with the Eight of Wands, like maybe this is a surprise wedding or a surprise party or something for somebody, right? Maybe a surprise birthday party, a surprise proposal. Like maybe this is somebody, if you're not writing your vows, your wedding vows in this moment, you're like writing down like your wedding proposal, or you're telling somebody exactly how you feel. And like this right here is exactly how you feel. Like this is the blessing that's coming out of all of this bullshit, right? And this is why they're saying surrender to the chaos as well. Very interesting. And this doesn't have to necessarily be, I mean, it's obvious that for somebody, it's going to be about a relationship that's romantic in nature. But the very center card that we have here is the work card. So I think at least for one person, this is something that has to do with maybe a business proposal, right? Or a business plan or something like that. Okay, so we're going to leave this here. And I think, by the way, because it ends with the 10 of Cups, like that's really, really positive. So whatever it is, I think, like if this is a proposal or a plan, I think it's going to be received well. When I say received well, that doesn't mean it's going to be accepted wholeheartedly. Like for some, it might, right? It could be if it's a wedding proposal, but like, I don't know if it's like a business proposal, it could be that there might be some tweaking that still needs to be done. Or even if it is a wedding proposal, it could be that maybe even if your person is like, I don't know, is it the right time, right? Let's read I want to read real quick what the Oracle cards have to say. So we're going to start with Nathaniel. He is constantly watching for spiritual fires of aspiration rising from Earthians. Man, I don't know, maybe I need to get my eyes checked. Okay. He is constantly watching for spiritual fires of aspiration rising from Earthians. Nathaniel means gift of God. He is Lord over the element of fire, a powerful gift from God. Nathaniel transfers the fire aspect of divinity to our world, where it transforms consciousness from the limited self to the eternal self. Your body thus regenerates by burning away misconceptions that would have you believe you are separate from God. You may experience this fire of transformation as body heat or an intense energy during periods of deep meditation and desire for change. Commitment to the light activates Nathaniel's am-free angels to hover over you with the fire of soul love. Their job is to help you burn away everything that weighs you down or tries to control the flow of energy in your body. They are constantly watching for spiritual fires of aspiration. During those precious moments when your fervency ignites your desire for love and light into a flame bright enough for the amphory to detect, you have the opportunity for liberation from your imprisonment in illusion. This yearning and devotion can only be inflamed through your feelings and results in sensations that are tingly, jumpy, and energetic. Welcome this electrical energy and allow it to move your body. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a lot, but we're going to go next to Zachariel, or Zachariel, I think. Zachariel. I apologize if I'm butchering that. So let's just surrender. And the song is screaming at me in the background. Luke Combs is the singer, the artist, and the song is Forever After All. I'm telling you, this one is screaming at me in the background, so this one definitely applies. And yeah, and I just got a notification, so that I don't take anything during my readings for granted. So getting a notification as I'm telling you that this song really applies is like a double confirmation. All right, so Zachariel, this is thank you, Father, that I am blended with your spirit. Zachariel means the remembrance of God. When you surrender, you are remembering that you are a fragment of God. Deep surrender opens the connections with your eternal self, which is your personalized manifestation of an important aspect of God. The greatest illusion we face is that we are the small self of our everyday life. We get trapped into believing that we are the emotional baggage and images assembled from our past experiences. Be willing to surrender the ego and its collection of small-minded, critical, negative beliefs that separate you from others and from the love of God. The thought of surrender is frightening at first. We have no experience with this. We can only relate to a feeling of helplessness and vulnerability. When there has been no personal experience of the presence of God or recognizable answer to prayer, the concept of surrender seems dangerous. The power of faith acts to help you leap into the unknown. Your faith in the angels, a power greater than yourself, the ultimate truth, Jesus, or whatever is meaningful for you, provides the bridge. All right, so now we're going to get to the charms to see if there is any personal message for any of the signs. And again, for those who don't know how I read the charms, this is just the cloth that came with it, but I'm going to use it to protect the table. So this is an astrological wheel. What I do is I set it to Aries, just like a regular blank chart that doesn't have anything in it yet. And I'm going to read this like I would transits. So anything that lands on the outer ring is going to be transit. So within this ring here, this is going to be within a couple of weeks. Anything further out will be longer, like you could go like months to years. If it lands in the center of the wheel here, this is general for everyone watching. If it lands in a specific sign, that is a special message for that sign. All right. I'm going to take out all the extras. All the things that are a little too big for the... Okay, so now we've got Addicted by Saving Abel. So the artist is Saving Abel, the song is Addicted. All right. Yeah. Okay. I got to get situated. I don't have a whole lot of room to move around in here. So let's start with Aries. Actually, no, sorry. Let's start with the very center. So here in the very center, we have, I guess my little pokey thing isn't going to work to flip them over like I'd like. So we have the star and it looks like the star, sun, and moon. And then we've got another sun in the very center. Hold on. Yeah, that's the star, sun, and moon. If we can get it to focus. Okay. And then we have another very happy sun. I feel like as I said that, it could be somebody's sun is very happy. Like maybe you're giving them a gift. We have the $100 bill here in the very center. So there could be, you could be giving someone a gift, maybe one of your children, possibly even a boy, just because. And then because we have the happy suns, and then we've got this charm that says smile. It's the same in all languages. So again, for everyone, I feel like this is just a really good week, positive week. Let's see if I can get that to... Nope, it's not going to do it. Okay, so it's a very positive week. We do have the key here, so there's going to be solutions. Another thing I'd like to point out, it's so interesting that we have music at the bottom of that oracle deck, because if you look at the very center of this key, it's got one of these, it's got a triquetra in the very center of it, but it's reminding me of, if anyone watching is old school and knows about the old record players and how you used to have to put the little plastic thing in the center of a record player in order to get it to hold the smaller vinyl records up. so that you could play them. I feel like that is happening. Like maybe somebody is going to be listening to some old vinyls, or maybe you come across some old vinyl records or something. Maybe that's going to be like a gift. There's a gift of music being given to somebody. Maybe it has to do with old records or something like that. Something is happening here. All right, so now for Aries, we have the broom, and actually the broom is connecting both Aries and Pisces. So there's some sort of situation that needs to be cleansed, that needs to be released, that needs to be possibly hashed over between Aries and Pisces. We also have the I can and the money, the $20 bill for Aries here. So I feel like you are going to be either you're going to get some good news about a job, or you're going to be maybe earning a little bit of extra money, or you can pay for something for someone and that makes you feel good. Maybe you are the one who's able to give someone a gift, and so that makes you feel really good. Just very positive, happy energy. You also have some more, some more charms here that talk about planning, right? So these are talking about different measurements, right? Where you're measuring different things, different measures and different angles. So there you have to be aware of the different measures and angles that are attached to your situation. Maybe measures that you need to take, or angles that you need to look at things from, right? A different point of view, come at it from a different angle, that kind of thing. So now we're going to move on to Taurus. So Taurus has the number 11 that comes with the 6 and 5 domino. So if we can get that to, 6 and 4, I was wrong. So this is the number 10, which is actually really good. 10s are like, the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the Rose. So again, this is like a gift of love with the Rose. And then we have the headstone, which talks about something ending. It could be that there's a relationship ending, but there's some sort of gift attached to it. Like even if the relationship does end, it's a positive thing for everyone all around. And I say that because you have the clarity, you have the eagle right here coming in within 2 weeks. Also for Aries, this is within 2 weeks here. So all of this planning, coming at it from a different angle, everything that's within the next 2 weeks. So for Taurus, the same thing. There's going to be a lot of clarity, a lot of like freedom, independence coming within 2 weeks from this relationship, but it's very, very positive. Possibly money attached to it, just because of that 10 and then the money in the very center of this charm cast. Okay, so for Gemini, we have the seahorse. We have the this is what I call the good night moon. So this is the moon that talks about things that are happening like in your sleep, like your dreams, right? So and this is straddling both Gemini and Cancer, and then we have the music charm straddling both Gemini and Cancer again. So it could be either you are one sign dealing with the other, or maybe you have both signs in your chart somehow. So the seahorse is, typically like the father charm. Like, so if you are a father and maybe you are trying to do something nice for your children, right? Maybe it's somehow attached to music. Maybe, and I just, for a second, it feels like there's something about if you're trying to get your child to sleep at night, there's something about music. And then this charm right here, it says, hold on, I can barely read it because of my eyes. It says, do as you would be done by, almost too simple, but this is all you need to get by. So that's what this charm says. Do what you would be done by, almost too simple, but all you need to get by. All right. So again, I feel like for children, this definitely has something to do with children or family or something, because the seahorse, it's the man, the male, the father that raises the babies. And then we've got this good night moon here that just is giving me like sleeping baby vibe. So, maybe you're trying to soothe your baby or something. And then even when you come over here to the Cancer, the sign of Cancer, you've got the mushroom. So there's more of this fairy tale, fantasy, nighttime story kind of energy going on. So if you like, possibly, so Gemini, Cancer, one or both, or maybe you've got this type of energy in your chart mixed up together, right? I think there's something going on with kids where you're trying to soothe your kids, and I think music is the way to do it. to comfort and soothe. Get creative because of the lizard that's coming over here. And you don't need any money for whatever it is that you're trying to do. If it's like a gift or something that you want to do that's special, it's literally saying get creative. It's attached to some sort of dream that you have, so on and so forth. Again, you don't need much money. So let's move on to Leo. So for Leo, you have the dollar bill, you have the cat, you have the flower. But here's the thing, the dollar bill is in the reverse and the cat are both in the reverse. And you've seen me flip a lot of these over just so that I can read them. But for some reason, these feel like they need to be read in the reverse. And it feels like you are not paying attention to your intuition when it comes to money. And like money is leaving it's like, I really honestly feel like it's saying like, because you're not paying attention to your money, like there's small little pieces. I don't know if somebody's like stealing or somebody's like skimming or something, but it kind of feels like maybe someone's not saying exactly what they're spending, or they're spending in private, but you're not paying attention, you don't notice, or maybe you're not paying attention to all of the little tiny things that you're spending money on and how it's been wasteful. I don't know, however that applies to you. You do have this flower here, which is sitting on the modality that, I forgot to explain that this particular wheel has the signs, the modality, the element, as well as the planet that pertains to each sign. So when you have the flower fall on the modality of fixed, what that means is that this is like long-term, like you have this stable abundance, right? It's a fixed abundance, it's stable, it's coming in. But if you're wasting money or you're not paying attention to the little things, you may still struggle. Like you got to be really careful. You're going to have to be, I think you really need to pay attention to money is what it's saying for Leo. So for Virgo, you don't have anything this week, but within the next couple of weeks, you have the Fate rune. So this is the Cup rune. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, so this is the Rune of Fate. So for Virgo, I feel like this is basically saying, because it did kind of, when I flipped it over, it kind of came up where it was in the reverse. I feel like this is saying that, I feel like this is a warning. Okay, I have to be really honest. I feel like for Virgo, this is saying like maybe there's something that you are avoiding or you're trying to deny maybe, but it's fate. I don't know. That's how it feels to me. All right. So, and then it's so weird. Look, now we have counting stars. So for Virgo, fate, something you're avoiding or denying, it's fate. But now we have One Republic is the artist, and the song is Counting Stars, and it literally just started as I was saying that to you, Virgo. So it's something attached to that. I don't know, maybe it's somebody attached to that you don't really want, or maybe you're trying to deny it or something. I don't know. Libra, you have the dolphin, so it just talks about happiness and joy, really. It is, so your happiness and your joy, it's falling on the cardinal modality. It's saying that happiness and joy is attached to being flexible, basically. All right, so Scorpio, you've got the thorn. It came out in the reverse for Scorpio. And then you have the chair tipped over, and it's straddling both Scorpio and Sagittarius. So it could be for Scorpio that there's a Sagittarius leaving your life, because that's what the chair tipped over means. Could be that you are leaving a situation that's been a thorn in your side, because, the thorn, and if it's in the upright, well, a thorn is just, it's not necessarily a positive rune. It's like frustrations or, yeah. I don't know. I feel like either you're leaving a situation that is very harsh and frustrating and difficult, or somebody who is very harsh, frustrating, and difficult is leaving your life this week. And then we have over here for Sagittarius, again, I feel like this is attached somehow. For Sagittarius, you have the Hail rune. And so this particular rune, like hail, can be a little bit destructive, right? And it kind of comes out of nowhere. And yeah, I feel like for Sagittarius, especially if it's Sagittarius dealing with a Scorpio, and like maybe Sagittarius, you have to leave Scorpio, right? Like I feel like it kind of could come out of the blue, like it might slap you upside the face or something, or upside the head, and you're like, what the fuck? But I have to say it. If this is attached and you're sitting there going, what the fuck? I think you're the problem. So I don't know why you're saying what the fuck. We do have the lantern here, which tells me that you will at some point get some clarity. Like because the lantern to me it's like giving me hermit vibes, and that's kind of what the hermit does. They do shadow work, and once they do this shadow work, that's where the clarity comes in. And so just because this lantern is attached to Capricorn, I'm going to continue reading Capricorn's charms for Sagittarius. But for Capricorn, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying because this pertains to you as well. And I just don't want to have to repeat myself. So once you do this shadow work, there's a gift attached to that. And this gift is coming in the form of like wisdom and lessons, because this particular present, this gift is falling on top of the section of this board that is ruled by Saturn. It's got the little mark for Saturn there. So, obviously, if you are a fan of tarot, you already know that the Hermit card talks about shadow work, discovering yourself, discovering exactly what it is that you need to be whole and happy and healthy. And so once you do that, that's what this gift is in terms of wisdom. But also I feel like there could be maybe a job that comes in attached to it as well. So maybe this is a situation where you have to leave a job where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just lost this job, but you were the problem and you didn't realize that you were the problem. And so now you have to do this shadow work. And then once you do the shadow work, you're like, oh, okay. Now I know why I got fired, right? It's because I XYZ. So we have this, the gun here. And so the gun is straddling, excuse me, that's not the gun, that's the bird. Sorry. I'm laughing at myself, you guys. Okay, so that's the bird. So the bird, there's messages going between Sagittarius to Capricorn. And then we have the arches. So there's one more doorway left to go through. So again, to tie this all in for Sagittarius, I feel like once you do this shadow work, you come to this knowledge. And because I kind of saw this as the gun, but it is really the bird, the gun would talk about having one last shot. So if you lost your job and you're kind of unsure why, then you do this whatever shadow work, inner work, whatever, and you realize that it was you that was the problem. Or if you lose a relationship, a friendship in some way, you realize it's you that was the problem. And now you're up here with this bird and this is your one last shot. Like you have to either come in and apologize and say something or explain yourself or make it right in some way in order to go through this last doorway, right? And so for Capricorn, this last doorway for you is not attached to losing something. For Capricorn, this last doorway for you is simply attached to the shadow work that you've done. You do the shadow work, you really get to know who you are. There's this gift attached to that's in the term in form of like real wisdom and a life lesson that helps you to make it through this other doorway. And by the way, this doorway won't show up until probably at least a week or more, like maybe 10 days after you watch this, just because of where the arches are falling on the board. All right. So Aquarius, you have what I call my scepter quartz, and then we have the number 1 domino. It's a 1 and blank on the domino. I don't know if you could see that. And so for Aquarius, I feel like this is 100% magician energy. Like I think you are manifesting just completely, like all week long. Probably working too, and that's just what makes you happy. Even whether it's like writing or just planning or whatever, it's just all week long, and that's what you're doing. And then for Pisces, you don't really have a whole lot other than is straddling your house with Aries, and the broom is straddling your house with Aries, and then we have the heart sitting out here. This would be about 2 weeks if you get to this level, so I would say maybe a month, possibly 2 months by the time we get here. Could be a little bit less than 2 months, I don't know. But I feel like if you have some sort of conversation with an Aries, because I feel like there's a situation that needs to be released or cleansed in some way, you can do it. It's going to take work. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a conversation that needs to happen, and you have to be honest and truthful. Remember the very beginning of this reading where it was like all coming from the heart and the throat chakra, right? You can do that, but if you do that, then you've got this coming back here, but it's going to take a while, about 2 months. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave this here, and we'll move on to group 2, which is the toilet angel. I hope that resonates. If not, just stay tuned. I have actually a couple of other readings that I've created that I am, as soon as I can figure out the filming process, I can start filming those and uploading them as well. So if this reading didn't resonate for you, just stay tuned. There might be something else. Hello, group Toilet Angel. As you can see, I'm having to start over with my little introduction for you, but that's okay. We have group Metatron, which is number 11, and group Uziel, which is number 30, as your oracle cards. So now that I've given you a pretty good view of those, I'm going to move them out of the way as I give you my very awkward disclaimer that I hate to give. So my name is Missy from Missy's Essential Tarot on Facebook and Kiss My Astrology. So these readings are meant to be general and timeless in nature, even if you do find it 2 years after I've recorded it. If the details fit for your life, it is meant for you. If the details do not fit for your life, please do not try to make them fit. That will do more harm than good, and is never my intention. I am not a doctor. I am not a lawyer. I am not an accountant or tax preparer. If you need help in any of those areas, please consult a professional. Please do not do something simply because I suggest it in these videos. You are an adult who has responsibility for your own life. Please use that responsibility to your advantage. Also, you will hear me say things like she or he. This is because I am an intuitive reader who happens to read the cards based on the imagery, and if I was looking at this imagery, I would call this a woman. That does not mean that I am saying you are a woman if you are a man watching this video. It just means that I'm going by the energy as it is being shown to me in the cards. If you are able to stand that, I am very grateful to have you here, and if you are not cool with that, I am very confident that you will find the door. So with that said, let's get into the reading. The first thing that I want to point out right here. So we have Metatron, and we have the number 11 over here. And we have some triangles. We've got some, shapes going on. We've got the eagle. We've got all of this sort of, if you discount the funny nature of this card, there is this sort of shape or sacred geometry, almost sigil look to this card, right? There's something about the geometry of this card that's catching my eye. And then we have faith on the other side. So I don't know if this has to do with maybe, so we have thought and faith. So interesting. This could be with something like the flower of life. I'm not exactly sure what I'm picking up on here. Hold on. And I'm not sure if the cards that I already have out are going to be the correct cards. So give me a second to, actually, no, I feel like we need this deck here. And I have to say, it's been playing in the background, and I've been trying not to pay attention to it, but it's just kind of hitting my ear a certain way. So the song we have playing in the background, the artist is Led Zeppelin. The song is All of My Love. All right, so let's see what's going on. I'm going to pull a 9-card spread. So for those who are not familiar with the 9-card spread, we have 3 columns and 3 rows. The center card is always the most important, but I do not lay out my 9-card spread the way that you are typically supposed to. I'm me. I read my cards the way I'd like to read my cards. Thank you very much. So this top row here is going to be what's on your mind. The center row is going to be what's happening right now. Bottom row is what you have control over. Left column is recent past. So left top is what was on your mind in the recent past. Left middle is what were you doing in the recent past. Left bottom is what you had control over in the recent past. Top middle is what you were thinking or what you are thinking of right now. Middle is what you are doing right now. Middle bottom is what you have control over right now. Top right is what you are going to be thinking of or what you'll be focused on in the immediate future or next. Right middle is what you'll be doing next. And right bottom is what you have control over next. Okay, so let's give it a shuffle. We have Seether with the song Broken playing in the background. Okay, cards upright. So I don't use this deck often because, as you can see, it's pretty big and it kind of hurts my hands to shuffle. There's definitely something about sacred geometry. This could be numerology as well. It could be Jewish. I don't know why that's. Are you like an accountant or something? Maybe you're working with numbers in some way, measurements, something, shapes. Okay. So whatever you're doing, we have the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. So whatever you're doing, you're obviously in the dark, like you're still searching. So typically in the traditional tarot, the Hermit would be holding a lantern, but in this card, he's holding a lighter. He's like holding the lighter up like this. I don't know if he's lighting a cigarette, possibly. But he's also he's doing this to prevent the wind from blowing the flame out. So obviously there's something, and then we have worry, works, but I'm seeing it as worry. So you're worried about work. Hold on. And then we have the moon and success. So you're worried about whether or not you're going to be successful at work, basically, is what this is. Because the moon is also fear energy. And then once you add in the toilet angel, like maybe this is doing something to your stomach. I feel like maybe this is making you that the anxiety is kind of off the charts. Let's pull this way a little bit so you can see it better. I may have to move it back though once we start getting into more cards, so just get you a good visual of that now. So this is the Urban Tarot, right? Is that the name of this? Yeah, the Urban Tarot. And I mean, it's kind of a dark deck, but not all of the cards are going to be so hard to see. But let me pull these closer so you can get a better. So this is the moon. She kind of looks like she's praying or she's in supplication, right? So I feel like this is praying that things will be successful because of the success card. And if you give me a second, I'll hold that one up for you. You see someone is paying out the coins, right? Can't really see who it is. Or maybe, I guess he's sitting on that chair because this is a shoe shine. He's getting paid for shining the shoes. I didn't even see what the work it was that he was doing. All I saw was the money. So because like typically, just to explain to you how I read, typically whatever it is that jumps out at me first is what I read. That's what I do. Whatever it is that calls my attention or that I feel a certain way when I'm looking at it or that whatever. And as I'm looking at all of this, all I saw was these coins. So putting everything together, I feel like this is what is got you anxious and sick to your stomach here with this toilet angel. It's this worry about money, 100% worry about money. And that's the reason that I was seeing the sacred geometry and all of that coming through. Because it 100% it does have to do with numbers and money. All right, so let's see what's going on. All right. So immediately we have the Empress and the Devil. Couldn't be two more opposite energies. And yet they're really not, because the Empress likes to create, and she's ruled by Venus. The Devil likes to destroy, but his card breaks down to the number 6. And I hate to say it, the Devil is lust, which means he is also ruled by Venus. Even though this particular card is not, when you come to, like, when you're putting these two together, you cannot deny the dual aspect of Venus that's coming through with these two cards. So, and this is what's on your mind, right? So whatever it is that's on your mind, obviously it has to do with family, probably kids, because this would be on the left-hand side. So in the recent past, it had to do with kids, maybe, your spouse and your kids. I feel like saying maybe you're worried about your mother, not just your kids, but also your mother. Then we have over here this Devil energy. This is right now what's on your mind. This is like, look at the way he's sitting there. He's kind of angry, right? He's kind of got an attitude. And he's sitting on the toilet, which come on, the toilet angel, then you got somebody sitting on the freaking toilet. I feel like you need to flush. I don't mean that as a joke. Like literally, I think it's saying like flush the attitude. Because look at, in this particular card, we've got this toilet angel. It's giving you the bird right there. In fact, I need my bad girl pointer now. I explained in the first video that I have a couple of pointers here. One is a crochet needle and one is a dab stick. Let's use the dab stick. It feels very appropriate for this reading, don't you think? So this particular card is giving you the finger, and the finger happens to have an eye on the end of it. So this is like a finger it's got an eye in the palm and an eye in the tip, with 2 eyes here and another eye in the crown. So this is like 100% intuitive. Like, I see you, I see what's going on, I see what your motivation is, I see all of it, and I'm pissed and angry about it. I have attitude, but I feel like you need to flush this attitude right down the toilet, because it's going to cause a problem if you don't. We'll see what the cards have to say, but I have to be honest with you. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. We've got the sun on the bottom of the deck. It's the happiest card. I kind of feel like this actually belongs over here because we've got the Empress with the baby there. And so this is what we're going to put here just because I follow my instincts always in these readings. And this just, it completes the picture for me. It just fits. And so it feels like it's saying on your mind, right? It's about taking care of family. You know you have to flush that attitude right down the toilet because it's not going to serve you if you want your family to be. Well, first of all, let's break this down because this little boy here, he's out in the open. He could be vulnerable, right? I mean, he's shoeless and shirtless. He's out in the open, and you don't see anybody in the card with him. So, and it's falling directly beneath the moon, right? So I feel like this is a fear, right? But even though this is a fear, there's a fear of vulnerability. Maybe you're afraid your children or your family are going to be left vulnerable in some way, shape, or form. But there's like, but you're angry about something. I don't know, whatever. There's attitude here. You can't deny that. But this is the most positive card in the deck, and so I also feel like, you know, there's something to celebrate as well coming into the future, even if you don't see it that way. It may not be like the full abundance that you really want because we do have the Two of Pentacles underneath that. So there is change coming in. There will have to be some sort of balance. Maybe even if it's a money thing, your family may have to cut back on some things, you know, and you just have to suck it up and cut back on some things. And I don't mean to sound so harsh, but like, why are you mad? You got the sun. Why are you mad? You got the sun. It's the most positive card. Why are you mad? I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay. That one's trying to jump out. That one. All right. So look, we've got the world. So we've got 2 3s. And I can't help but you know, this right here, like this totally, it's the 9 of Pentacles. Or excuse me, it's the 9 of Wands, but it's reminding me of the 9 of Pentacles because we have this dude, he's in the cold, in the frozen snow. I think that's maybe the mailman, actually, getting ready to deliver the mail here to this, whatever this looks like, some sort of, and I know I'm skipping ahead to the very center, but this is the central card, which is talking about what's going on with you right now, right? So this is some sort of government building or some sort of corporate, some sort of authority, right? Obviously, because you have the columns, it's, you know, there's money behind whoever built this building, there's money behind them. Looks like the mailman delivering the mail in the snow. So that's where fortitude comes in. And it's saying that's what you need to have in this situation because it's falling in the center below where it's talking about the attitude that you already have. You need to flesh that attitude and get strong, obviously. But there's this 5 of Pentacles attached to it, this feeling of the 5 of Pentacles, again, where you've got all this worry about money, and I don't think you need to worry about it. I think you need to suck it up. You have the world over here. So she's ascending. You know, typically with the world card, you would have, and I probably have one here actually to demonstrate. You know what? I don't feel like digging it out right now. You just have to trust me on this. But you would have a wheel where it would show her like stepping through, right? This one, she's stepping up. So I think where you're worried about your family, and I can't get past the fact that this is a woman, right? So where I was saying before, if you're worried about your mother, right? Don't, because I feel like she's going to be stepping up or ascending in some way. She's going to take a step up from where she is. But if you're worried about your family, like right now, they're taking a step up, right? So again, have fortitude, or you are, because this is the current situation. Keep going, even though you feel like you're kind of out in the cold, you're not. We have Styx playing in the background with Renegade. Oh, interesting. and it's saying wanted man, and I can't get past this whole feeling of right here. This is like a government building. He's saying wanted man. There could be some sort of justice attached to this, where maybe if you have some sort of legal situation, this could be for somebody. If you have a legal situation, you really need to stuff your attitude, because you don't want to you don't want to go to jail. Like if you have to face the judge for something, if you don't stuff your attitude, you might go to jail. Look at the journalist. Okay. And the way he's pointing his finger, right? So whoever that was for, about if you don't stuff your attitude, you might go to jail. Whoever that is for, he's talking to you. You know who you are. Okay. It's so hard to do this. All right. So now we have the Seven of Cups. So this is what you are going to be doing in the immediate future. You're going to be celebrating, and obviously it says debauch right there. Ooh, you got some plans. See, what are you mad about? Look at this. Although I do have to be honest, the Seven of Cups does talk about like the seven deadly sins, but this particular deck, that's, I mean, unless your sin is alcoholism, if that's the case, avoid bars at all costs right now. You definitely don't want to contribute to, like, you don't want to make, your situation worse. But this is celebration energy. Literally, this is how I feel. Like you're worried, but there's actually like actually I feel like there are options, is what this is saying. Like, why I feel like saying, why are you mad? Like, what are you worried about? You have options. Maybe you don't want those options. I think that might be the case. You just don't want those options. Because look, now we have truce. See, and this is blocking energy. It's the Four of Swords, which is typically in traditional tarot, you would see somebody you would see a crypt, right? Rest in peace. And so, but this is more like a truce. Like maybe you're gonna have. I think whatever your options are, even if you're not happy with your options, you're gonna have to come to some sort of compromise. You just, there's no way around it. Like again, why are you mad? God, I don't mean to call you out like that, but like, why? I don't understand. I feel like there still is abundance here. Is it that you're not getting everything that you want? Is that what it is? Is that why you're? Because look, I don't. Oh God, I'm so sorry. There's a part of me that kind of wants to like. I don't know what the word is to describe how I feel, other than like, if I was talking to one of my own kids, I'd be like seriously, you're getting a really, really sweet, like you have these sweet options here. What are you complaining about? Like I would be upset if I was talking to my child, I would be upset thinking, I don't understand why you're upset with the options that you have. I would be telling them to be grateful for the options that they have. Now, I don't know your situation. I really honestly don't. And obviously, I'm someone, looking at your situation from the outside. But from what I can see from these cards and from these margarita glasses, look at how colorful they are. And it looks like they're different flavors. It looks like they're, it's not like there's any boring options, or like, it's not like you're having to like go from, well, I'm just going by the cards. I don't know if you have to go from a mansion to a shack, but I don't see that from these cards. Are you having to go from a mansion to a shack? Maybe then you might have to cry, but like, if you're not, then what are you crying about? Jeez, I can't get over it. Sorry. Now we've got the Prince of Cups. Okay, we've got the filmmaker, and this is what you had control over in the recent past, right? You had control of how you see things, because this dude, he's literally framing the picture right here. You have control over your own thoughts and your frame of reference for this situation. And typically the Prince of Cups, this is like an offer, right? This is like the Knight of Cups in the traditional tarot. So there's action that has to be taken, right? So maybe in the recent past, what you had control over, like the actions that you took, you weren't seeing the big picture when you took those actions. And because of that, now you're left with the choices that you have. And so again, why are you upset? Especially if this is based on your own actions, you know? And then look, you've got the Knight of Swords, the game master. Look. You thought, I'm putting this one right here. I'm so sorry. You thought you were playing a game of chess, and I think maybe you made the wrong move. Oh, was it the wrong move in love? I don't know. I feel like this one has to come true. I'm sorry. It just because it caught my. And then look, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. Hold up. This just took a weird turn. I thought this was like somebody was getting ready to go in for some legal situation and was probably going to have to like go to jail. Dude, okay, I'm just gonna read it the way I see it, whatever, even if it only resonates with one person who gives a shit, right? So I feel like this literally, I feel like this is somebody who might have to go to jail. And you guys, like, I feel like for some reason, like if they're in jail, like they'll still be in contact with the outside world and they may, okay, hold up. There's a big heart right here encompassing the hands and the coffee cups. So I feel like in real life, like, okay, so we've got, hold on, Bad Company playing Shooting Star in the background. Okay. Um, I just, for this card right here made me, it just gave me a completely whole other story, but I'm going to finish the first story before I get to the second story because there might be two people here. So, when I say that, I mean like there might like one story's for one person, one story's for somebody else because I haven't had a lot of views on these videos lately, only a couple of people, and maybe one of you has one story and one of you has the other story. So one person, I think you've got something illegal going on, and maybe you're worried about your family because you're worried that not your reputation, that your relationship is going to break up. You're worried that your person is going to find somebody else when you're in jail, and I think that's what your attitude is about. And I think I think you need to flesh that attitude. I think you need to flesh that attitude. I think, what are you crying about? Number one, I think you have somebody who's really solid, somebody who's really loyal. I think you don't, based on these cards, you don't have anything to worry about. But beyond that, okay, because I just have to say it the way that I'm seeing it. Number one, if you've got an attitude and you're treating your person like shit because you're like, oh, I just know they're going to find somebody else, right? You're wrong for that because they're not. Don't worry. But if you do that, I think there's a good chance that they will. It will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So heed my words, okay? Heed them well. You better treat your person right, or you will end up manifesting exactly this because you have the moon card right here. And you have the Six of Pentacles up there, right? So when you put all of these three cards together, all of this is speaking to me like you're sitting on the toilet, you're getting ready to shit all of this down the toilet with your attitude if you don't get rid of the fear, because this is what your fear is going to create, because this is the immediate future. So your fear can create this one, and it all depends on how you look at it. You can create it one way or the other. You can either create this happiness, you know, with celebration where you guys get to come back together at the end when you get out, or you can create this situation where they end up going out and having a lot of opportunities for something better and they grasp it. Okay. So, yeah. Now for the second story, I feel like for somebody, this is actually like a divorce, honestly. I feel like this is a divorce that you're not happy about, you don't want at all. I think the other person wants the divorce, and that's the reason that you're so like, this is why you're upset over here. And I'm so sorry for saying, like, what are you crying for? I apologize. And it's because I didn't see this last card coming in. I see why you're crying now, but you just don't see what I see. That's the reason that I'm like, oh, what are you crying for? Because you've got this coming in. I was seeing it here, but you don't see it yet because this is the immediate future. So if you're going through a divorce or a separation and you really don't want it to happen and you're really upset about it, please just hang in there. You know, that's what this Fortitude card is about. It's saying just hang in there because you have something better coming in almost, I feel like it's almost right away, because this is the immediate future and this is your outcome card. And then you've got this in your immediate future on your mind too. Just right now, you don't see that. And that's why you have this attitude and you're really upset. Okay, and then you also have the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck, by the way. And then the Rock Star, look at that. Oh, you do have some disappointment, but then you've got victory. See, disappointment brings victory is what those two cards are saying together. All right, so let's get into some charms. Give me a second to get this cleaned up. Oh, wait, I forgot to read those. See, I'm trying to rush because I'm worried about how long this video is going to be. And actually, to be honest with you guys, there's a very good chance that this video may take longer than I anticipate to upload. And so I may not get to actually upload it on Monday, but we're going to find out. I'm going to try to upload it or try to start uploading it tonight. All right. So first, I'm going to read our oracle cards. So we're going to start with Uziel, which is number 30. So Uziel, faith. For it has pleased the Lord to manifest himself to me. He has opened the interiors of my mind or spirit in the spiritual world with the angels and at the same time in the natural world with men. Uziel means the strength of God that manifests the gift of God's essence and the power of faith in your life. When you invite Uziel to touch you with faith, your spiritual growth is accelerated and peace fills your heart. Faith works in a realm beyond human understanding and reason. It takes a tremendous faith to enable you to transcend your mind and connect with eternal knowing. Ask Uziel to teach you to ignite the ascension attitude of love, surrender, and gratitude, becoming the dynamic vibration that magnetically attracts spirit, making possible a union between you and God. Faith is an interior knowing that inspires you to be conscientious, accurate, and true. Its powerful energy decreases with inertia and increases through right action. Rather than an external thought, true faith is found deep within your being, guiding your actions and feeling toward the desired outcome. The angels protect us through our faith by distracting or changing the perception of others who would harm us. And that's so interesting because remember what I said about your perception is what is shaping what's happening right now in your situation. So where this is talking about the perception of others, I think this is actually speaking to your own perception that would harm you, creating an atmosphere free of worry, anxiety, doubt, and fear. So let me read that sentence again. The angels protect us through our faith by distracting or changing the perceptions that would harm us, creating an atmosphere free of worry, anxiety, doubt, and fear. So now let's move on to Metatron. All right. So Metatron thought. And by the way, we have the song Spirit in the Sky playing, and the artist is Norman Greenbaum. Oh, Norman Greenbaum. Remember I said there might be something about being Jewish? Okay. So on the day of judgment, men will render account for every careless word they utter. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Metatron is head of the archives, or the secretary of God. Hebrew legends say that he was not always an angel, but was once a man known as Enoch. According to this account, Enoch walked with and was taken up by God. In other words, he did not die. Metatron supervises special archives called Akashic Records, where all of our thoughts and deeds are recorded upon an impressionable and highly sensitized screen of mental essence. Our attitudes perpetually create our current life experiences as well as our future. Now, I want to stop this for a second, and I want to bring up the card, the filmmaker, because that and the card perception. Hold on. The filmmaker, and where was the other one? Oh, okay, so this one right here, again, where this is talking about putting it on the screen. So both of these cards are actually bringing in this right here. So both of your oracle cards are calling you out, and I'm so sorry for that because I felt like I wanted to call you out as well, but I guess it wasn't just me. Please don't be mad at me. So with this filmmaker, this is tying in right here where it says, Metatron supervises special archives called Akashic Records, where all of our thoughts and deeds are recorded upon an impressionable and highly sensitized screen of mental essence. You are creating your own film. You are creating your own life, and it's your perceptions that are creating your actions, or your reactions, I should say. So that's what this card is bringing your attention to. It is not enough to just try to think happy thoughts. The objective is to clear the mind of false beliefs so that it may receive truth. You were born to express your unique version of God, but before you learn to connect with your truth, you function from the surface mind under the influence of automatic reactions. You act because of emotions, environmental conditions, body sensations, cultural beliefs, and prejudice. As you learn to live upward, your eternal self fills your awareness, seeking to reunite in love and freedom. Nothing comes into physical existence without first being a thought. You are God's thought, and you can connect with eternal intelligence in your creative thoughts. Call on Metatron to quicken your intellect and reveal all that imprisons you. A pure imagination is God's medium of expression. Strive to keep the mirror clear and receptive so that you may see, hear, and know the power of this divine gift. All right, so now we're going to do some quick charms to see if there are any special messages for the signs. So for those who don't know, this is an astrological wheel. I like to set it at Aries, just like you would for a blank chart. So we have the signs on the outer wheel, and then we have the planet associated with that sign in each house. We've got the modality, we have the element, and then we have the flower of life in the center. And so the way that I read this, everything that falls in the outer ring is, I read that like a transit chart. That's what's coming in, in the future. Everything that lands in the center is a general reading for everyone. And if it lands here in any of these signs, that is a special message for that sign. Okay, we have Alec Benjamin with the song Let Me Down Slowly song. I feel like I'm just getting a really good mood beginning with that. Okay, so we have a couple that fell out of range of the camera, and they fell so far out. And I just want to point out for Gemini, one of them is the telephone. And so this telephone fell so far out, I'm going to say, several months or at least a year for the communication that you're looking for. And then for the sign of Cancer, we have the movement rune, the Rado, the movement rune. And that one, so there, whatever your situation is, you won't see any movement or change in your situation for at least several months to a year if you are the sign of Cancer, or if you have Cancer prominent in your chart. Okay, so now we're going to go, we don't really have anything that fell in the center. We do have the tornado charm that is kind of straddling the sign of Pisces, as well as the very center of the chart, which totally makes sense because right now we have a lot of planetary energy in Pisces. So I feel like this is kind of like it's kind of saying whatever it is that you create, like in general, everyone who's watching this reading, whatever it is that you create right now, it's going to have the effect of a hurricane. So be very mindful about what you're doing. So that was for everyone, and Pisces in particular. And since we're starting with Pisces because of that, this particular charm here, I need to point out the money charm. So if Pisces is worried about money, if you're like trying to, create a job or a business or earn more money, it's coming in, but it probably won't be, because this is straddling like the outer edge, it'll probably be somewhere between 10 days to 2 weeks before you see the money. So for Aries, we don't have a whole lot except for the $10 bill that straddles both your house with the house of Taurus. So I think, both Aries and Taurus have some money coming in, probably by the end of the week. So for Taurus, you have the sign of Scorpio with the anchor, and then we have the circus charm that's sitting in on your outer edge. And also, it's so funny, I'm only laughing only if my friend is watching this, she'll understand, but because I'm talking to a Taurus, and the particular song that's coming on the radio on my Pandora right now is by Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. I apologize for that. I am plugged in now. All right, so back to Taurus. So Taurus, you could be having a Scorpio come in this week. Maybe this could be, somebody that you already know. Whatever this is, I think it's long term. So maybe if this is someone that you meet, a new friend, it could be a long-term friend. Or maybe there's something happening between you and a Scorpio this week that is going to be long-term. Although, like I say, with this circus charm coming out here in the outer transits, so within a couple of weeks, it could feel like it's a circus. Interesting. And as I'm talking, we have Ashniko with the song Blow playing in the background. So you may want to look up that song and see how those lyrics apply to you. It could be where it applies to the circus, like maybe, hold on. She's saying, I'm gonna blow up on him. Blow a kiss to your girl, I'm gonna blow up on him. Okay, interesting. So that could be the circus, like maybe something happens, it's like long term, that's like, I feel like, okay, I have to be honest, because Scorpio energy is like vengeful sometimes. Like, I look, I'm not trying to call any Scorpios out. I have Scorpio rising. I know this energy so very well because I live this energy. And yes, there are times that we can be a little bit vengeful. And that's kind of what this song is like. It's like maybe there might have been somebody who was trying to hold you down in some way, or hold you back in some way, or maybe try to tell you you couldn't do something. And maybe you're proving them wrong, and like that's what this circus, like maybe this is when it blows up, like when you get some sort, I feel like there's some sort of recognition, to be honest, just based on what she's saying. I can't get too lost in this one because I'll go forever, but yeah, I feel like whatever it is, you're going to get some sort of recognition, and it's going to be like ha ha to the people that were trying to hold you down. Okay, so Gemini, again, you don't have anything coming in this week, but you do have the I choose strength, so you're going to need to be very strong over the next couple of weeks, because this is in your transits. And then again, whatever communication or information that you're waiting for, it's going to be quite a while, several months to a year before you have that communication come in. For Cancer, we have the Scarecrow. And then you have this where it talks about like movement coming in several months to a year out. So give me a second, because I'm feeling something and I'm not... It feels like I have to be really honest. I feel like there's something bullying, something because of the Scarecrow. Like this is the whole thing. The whole reason to put a Scarecrow in your yard is to keep the crows away from the corn, because you want to protect your harvest, right? You want to protect the crop. You don't want someone to come in and steal from you, which is bullying type of energy. So you have to put up some sort of protective something this week, but you probably won't get any relief from this situation. You won't have any, like you probably will be the only one who sees this situation or something. Like you might be the only one holding the line for a while, like before somebody comes in or before something changes or you get some sort of relief. Okay. All right. So I don't know if this is for Leo or Cancer, but we have Bad Company, Can't Get Enough playing in the background. And I was just getting ready to skip to Leo, so it could be one or both. Oh no, I think this is Cancer only because I forgot the first line of the song is, I'll take whatever I want. I think somebody might be taking something from you, Cancer, and you have to protect yourself, but you won't be able to, there won't be any relief. You won't be able to prove it or something for like a while. There won't be any movement or change in the situation for a while. Okay. It could be somebody doing it to you romantically too. Let's be honest, it could be somebody romantically because he's saying, I can't get enough of your love. And when we talk about like, it could be like romantically where someone is like maybe putting you down or saying small little things and you're having to protect yourself. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So Leo has the arches, but they're in the reverse. So that you can't go through this next doorway. You need support and help to get through this next doorway. I think you're trying to do it on your own. And you need like spiritual support and help with the footprints and this Peacock Ore, which is like, Peacock Ore talks, it's like the, it's people call it like it's the magic. Use it if you're trying to create magic, right? Because of the colors of it. But you need support. You need spiritual support. And right now you don't have it for some reason. It could be true that you need counseling as well. That could be what this is saying with the spiritual support. Like counseling would be very, very helpful and instrumental in helping you to make it through this doorway in the upright, healthy. And that's what you want, I think. And then we also have the I love you to the moon and back charm that's straddling both Leo and Virgo. So you could have placements in both, or you could be dealing with one or the other. So for Virgo, we have the bow along with the clock. And so I feel like, and the clock is actually sitting on top of the mutable space of your house. So I think you're going to have to be very flexible over time. Actually, no, you know what this is saying? Your gift is being very flexible over time. But also with this I love you to the moon and back charm, it is attached to a reputation. I mean, not a romance. I'm sorry for saying reputation, although that could have something to do with it. Like maybe you have to be flexible because of like with your reputation over time, or like that's the gift that you have in order to keep your reputation going, is being flexible, something to maintain your reputation, something. You need to be flexible. It's a gift to be flexible. Also, the bow is sitting on top of Mercury, so conversation, communication, compromise is a gift. In love and relationship is what it's saying, long term especially. So for Libra, we have the dolphin. And this is like the second time we've had the dolphin come out for Libra. So there's a lot of joy and happiness coming in for Libra in the next couple of weeks, only because we doesn't really have anything. And also it could be attached to a Leo because we do have the lion here. Also, one thing that it could be saying is that you need to like speak up for yourself, roar, like a lion would roar. Okay, Scorpio doesn't have anything this week, or at least not for this particular reading. But for Sagittarius, we have smile. It's the same in all languages, and we have the palm fronds. So Sagittarius, I think you might be making a new friend. It could be somebody who's maybe different from you, or you could be traveling also, because we do have the palm fronds. Like maybe you could be traveling someplace where you don't speak the language. So just smile, because I think you'll make a new friend anyway. Capricorn doesn't really have anything. Aquarius has the swan. We have the cowboy boot. We've got the crown. And the weird rune. Okay, so I 100% So the weird rune, that's literally the name of the rune, WYRD, but it's the rune of like possibility, right? And I feel like what it's saying here, so this is like air, like you're the queen of air is what it's saying, number one. So you could be a female who's an Aquarius watching this, and like maybe your thoughts, your thought pattern is what really puts you on top. It's what has gained you the throne that you have. Also, your beauty and being 100% authentic to yourself is really important. So for the cowboy boots, this was also on the outer edge, right? I do feel like there's work attached to it, but with the spurs, right? Like kicking into gear, there's something about the spurs that's like catching my attention. And I feel like it's saying it's kicking into gear in order to like create your story, create your picture, your palette, your something, because this is possibility, right? Create the possibilities, but it's going to take work, whatever it is, a lot of work. And it has to do with your brain. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave it here so that we can move on to the last reading, which is a woman breastfeeding a VCR. And I hope that resonates. If it did not, please stick around. There might be another reading here for you that does. Hi, group 3, a woman breastfeeding a VCR. Let's get your cards set up where you can see them clearly. So we have Raphael with healing. And we have Amitiel with truth. And your numbers are 22 and 5. Okay. So I'm going to give you a really good, let you look at this woman breastfeeding a VCR for a second while I give you my disclaimer and get all the awkwardness out of the way. So these readings are meant to be general and timeless in nature. Even if you do come across this reading 2 years after I have created it and it resonates for your life, it is meant for you. If the details fit, they are meant for you. But if they do not fit, please do not try to make them fit. That will do more harm than good and is not my intention. I am not a doctor. I am not a lawyer. I am not an accountant. I am not a tax preparer. If you need help with any of those situations, please contact a professional. Also, please do not do something simply because I suggest it in these videos. You are an adult. You are responsible for your own life. Please use that responsibility to your advantage. If you hear me say things like she or he, it is simply because I read cards intuitively, meaning that I go by the images first before I use the traditional meaning. So if I'm looking at this particular card here, I see a woman breastfeeding a VCR, so I am going to say she. If you are a man watching this reading and I say she, but the other details fit for you, this is still your reading. I am not suggesting that you're a woman, and that does not discount this being your reading. It is simply energy. If you are offended by my use of the terms she or he or anything that would be along those same lines, please understand that I am simply speaking of energy and I am simply going by the images of the cards. And if you are cool with that, I am so very happy to have you here. But if you are not cool with that, I am confident you will find the door. With that, let's get into the reading. I have to put a couple of things away, and I apologize for that slip there. We have Pat Benatar screaming in my ear. Shadows of the Night for number 3. So Pat Benatar is going to start it off for us. I feel she's coming in hot, rebellious. What's going on? Something's up with you, number 3 group. Okay. Let me get this last deck of cards put away so I can decide which deck that we want to use for this reading. Man, I'm kind of torn between 2. We may use 2. I'm going to pull them both to the side. We'll see what happens. Oops. All right. We're going to start with the TV series Tarot. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to pull a 9-card spread. One more, and then we can get started. So before we actually pull some cards, I want to talk about the woman in this card, the bullshit that's going on. So as you can see, this woman is trying to breastfeed a VCR. She's trying to do the impossible. Is she crazy? We got to ask these questions, right? Like, what is going on in her head that she actually thinks she is going to be successful in breastfeeding a VCR? I don't know. I don't think I would try it, to be honest. I think my titty might get stuck in there and my nipple might be a little bit tender after that, but okay. More power to you. I'm sorry that it's taken me a second and I'm knocking things over. I am trying to get situated. I got to grab some chapstick real quick. So, immediately when I saw this card, I actually felt like she was really she's really nursing a career or something that's, obviously not a baby, but it's something that's important to her nonetheless. But, all of the commentary that you heard me give in the background where I was saying, like, is she crazy? Is she trying to do the impossible? What's going on? I kind of feel like maybe that's what people are saying. Maybe this is something that you've been trying to do for a while. No, let's see. I remember that when I'm shuffling the cards, it shakes the damn camera. That's not a good thing. Okay, so we got Loverboy playing in the background with Turn Me Loose. So it's throwback fucking, well, I guess it's not Friday. But still, it's like all throwback. Loverboy, Turn Me Loose. Okay, this is So we start off with the King of Wands. I'm actually going to put him up here. And the Knight of Pentacles. Actually, that's the Page of Pentacles, sorry. Okay, so, and then we have the Knight of Cups with the Seven of Wands. So we have people already coming out. And then we have defensiveness over here. All right, so let me, based on what and then we've got the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this is, obviously it's a partnership because we have people attached to it and we have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. So if this is something where maybe you're trying to nurse either a job or a career or a business or something, recent past, you were thinking about being the boss, right? Running the show. And now you're kind of looking at what are the problems? What are the details that need to be taken care of right now in this situation? And then in the immediate future, this is where, maybe you've come up with some sort of solution and you may be bringing this solution or this idea to someone. I don't know, we'll have to get some more cards to see exactly what it is, but so far that's kind of what I'm seeing. We do have defensiveness over here where there may have been things where you've had to put down some rules or make changes, like maybe you're the boss at work. So, I mean, obviously he's being depicted as the president, right? But like maybe you're the boss at work and like okay, so I feel like this defensiveness could be like maybe the employees are either saying either they want more money, more hours, more something, like there's something where you're having to defend your, like if you work for a company, I feel like you're having to defend the higher ups for some decision that was made, like you're having to take the flak for it, or you're having to take the complaints, you're having to be the one who has to go in and try to smooth the feathers, right? And so this was in the recent past where you had to come in, like maybe you even had to step into a role that belonged to someone else, either like a role in work that belonged to someone else, and you're having to come in and sort of clean up is kind of how this feels. And there's this defensiveness attached to it where maybe the people that, because if you're the boss, you obviously have people working under you, right? So you have to give instructions or give orders, and maybe they don't like it, and so you're having to defend those decisions. But there's something that needs to be analyzed, or that was being analyzed, I should say, or that needs to be analyzed right now, because this is in the current situation. Again, it has to do with somebody else, because you've got 3 people here. One could be fire sign, one could be earth, one could be water, because those are the 3 elements attached. Okay. And so now we have the 9 of Wands in the center. And we've got the Fool card. Okay, so there is definitely a new beginning coming, and I think you're coming up with some sort of plan up here, some sort of whatever this, so whatever you're having to come in to fix, especially if it's in a job, right? You're coming to fix this mess that other people left, and like this is the plan to do it, and you're coming to present this plan over here, maybe a proposal of some way over here to the higher ups. And I do think that whatever it is, I think so far it looks very positive because of these 2 cards. And then we've got healing on the right side as well. So this might even be like a budget thing. Or like where maybe somebody has to be laid off, and you're the one that has to do it. And you have to kind of defend yourself, defend your decision. Or maybe there's been a cutback on something, and because of the cutbacks, like the hours are less or something. Right. You know what? I'm not getting any, and I did feel like there was a second deck, so we're going to actually use the second deck to do the what do you have control over right now? The bottom row, because that's what I want to know, is what is it that you have control over in this moment and coming up. Okay, so we have the Ace of Coins with the star. So it is about money or budget, something. And then we've got the 9 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. And then we've got the Lovers again underneath the 9 of Cups. Okay, so we're going to stop it there. I might actually well, hold on. Let's look at Queen of Wands with the King of Wands. So this is definitely some sort of partnership. Like, okay, so this Queen of Wands, obviously there's something, because this is, so I feel like this is probably, if you're working for a company and say you're the boss who has to deal with the employees, right? The company has come up with, or they did in the past, they came up with whatever this was, that there was like something budgeting, something going on. You had to be the one in the past to deliver the news, which put you in a position of having to defend what their decision was and why. And so now things are slim. because money's been tight in some way, but there are reinforcements coming up over the hill. You do have the star, which is healing, which confirms the healing card that came over here, Raphael. So both this, the star is always about healing. So, I am going to get a couple of, I do want to real quick. No, it's not that one. I want, so I'm going to get some of these to get like clarification. I kind of want to see what this new start is really for clarification. And I kind of want to see over here exactly what this was, because I do feel like this is something like I keep going back to it. I think maybe this is something where maybe the company that you're working for, or there was some sort of cutback, there was some sort of budget cutbacks or something where things got tight for a while. But now it's like there's some sort of plan being put into place now that's bringing hope. Because this is all like, this is a wish, literally, because it's depicting clouds in this deck. So this is literally the wish being taken to, this is the Raven's prophecy deck. So the ravens are carrying your wish to heaven, so that God can answer with a new beginning. So let's do real quick. I just want to see. What is the new beginning? And I think I am going to use, well, hold on, I'm going to get a couple of cards from each deck. So we have the song For the Night by the artist Pop Smoke playing in the background. Let's get one more card from this deck, and then I'm going to get 3 from this other deck real quick just to see what is the new beginning. I don't think we're going to do charms with this one. It doesn't feel like this is a charms reading for some reason. I apologize if that disappoints anyone. I don't feel it. I feel like the clarification is where we need to focus right now. That one wanted to come out. And then we have the cross, and we have Life is Beautiful by 6 a.m. playing in the background. I think something that is the new beginning is the end of something. Okay, because look, we've got the sickle, the moon with the clock tower. I think it's the end of one job. I think it's the end of a job because of the clock tower. Hold on. Okay. Dude, I don't know. Like I keep saying, like my channel so far only has maybe 20 subscribers. So the number of people that this could actually apply to is very, very small. But I kind of feel like if this is a situation on the job where you've had to kind of defend your boss or your company in some way, I think you're going to find out that maybe your boss might have been doing something on the side they shouldn't have been doing. And either they're going to lose their job, and maybe I think there could be someone else. I really honestly feel like that's kind of what like this person, whoever this person is, this person in authority, they probably are going to lose their job because it's just with this message delays and then the clock tower over here. This is saying it's just taken a while for the higher ups to see what's going on with whoever this person is, whose power is disruptive. It's not a healthy. And so the only way to heal this situation is to take the power away from this person with the sickle, right? Because the message delays, it's like what's been happening under cover of darkness. It's time for it to change. It's time for that clock for there to be, because the clock tower talks about seeing things from a higher perspective. The higher ups, this is authority, bureaucracy, right? So this is the higher ups finally doing something about the problem that's going on over here, possibly by someone losing their job. Okay, so I hope that resonates. If it doesn't, please stay tuned or please stick around because I have a couple of other readings that I just created that I plan on recording as soon as I get all of this situation figured out. So if this doesn't resonate, there may be something else here for you that does. Okay, so I forgot to read our oracle cards. So if you give me 1 second, I'm actually going to read those for you. So we're going to start with number 22, Amitiel. So this is the card of truth. Truth itself will assist in every way him who has gone forth in search of truth. There are various levels of truth. Truth that is dependent on experience or knowledge changes daily. Universal truth is eternal and is recognized when it resonates in harmony with your soul memory. It feels true. The ultimate truth is that you are a fragment of God living in a human body. The eternal self is your individualized part of God's personal presence. Being attuned to the truth of how you feel forms a connecting link to your eternal self. Ask Amitiel to help you find the truth in your desires and experiences. This will open the floodgates of amazing joy This will open the floodgates of amazing joy. In most of us, the truth is buried beneath layers of denial and requires extensive release work to uncover. Begin by remembering a traumatic experience. Were you so overwhelmed that you did everything you could to avoid feeling? Did you drink, smoke, take a sleeping pill to try and think about other things or stay busy so that you didn't have to deal with it? These are all ways of denying intense feelings of anger and fear. The problem with trying to escape pain is that feelings are not external like experiences. When you reject feelings, you reject a part of yourself. Rather than going away, your emotion stays nearby, creating an undercurrent that manipulates future experiences in an attempt to get your attention. Feelings don't cause an experience to be unpleasant. They are only responding to and trying to protect you. Reclaim these lost parts of yourself to regain happiness. While outside of your acceptance, they are in darkness and unable to receive the nourishing light of God. Your emotional energy causes a vibration that opens the darkness to receive love and healing. This vibration breaks up the aura of limitation that perpetuates the repetition of negative behavior. So now we're going to come over here to healing, which is number 5. So this is talking about in the past, you've searched for your truth in the past, and so now it's time to gain the healing from that. So for Raphael Healing, as soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. Raphael means God cures. Though Raphael is charged with the healing of the earth and its inhabitants, he gives full credit to God. His first mission is to purify the activities of the outer mind, to uplift your thinking and erase any false beliefs. With an open mind and heart, your unshakable faith emerges, lifting your consciousness to your eternal self. Raphael's next mission is to repair your cells, tissues, and organs and purify your bloodstream. Now your body begins to take in nourishment from the pure essence of spiritual light. Your heart center bursts open in a lightning flash of love as your rate of vibration increases, causing bodily sensations you never dreamed possible. You become a center of pure, unconditional love. This tangible vibration spreads to the other centers of your body, revealing amazing gifts of spirit that have been sleeping for so long. All healing facilities and practitioners are under the watchful eye of Raphael and his legions. The angelic hosts are especially delighted when they find open hearts and minds through which to work. At least 3 healing angels enfold each hospital in curative light, working to lift suffering, bring hope, and ease pain. Your prayers will call a single angel, and if it is determined that the life of the patient is not yet finished, the angels will work to arrest illness, enlighten the patient, and inspire the doctors. Healing angels clear congested areas in the etheric body so that the flow of cosmic energy can heal both cause and its physical manifestation. They are most active in the dark of the night when the life forces are the lowest. Whenever you visit a hospital or healing facility, send your love and gratitude to these blessed loved ones for their tireless assistance. Those healing and bringing beauty to earth are under the influence of Raphael. Ask him how to absorb beauty directly into your soul to promote healing. Call on Raphael to guide you in the creation of a healing space. Use the music of Israfel, which is just, how can we not forget that in the very beginning of this reading, we had him come out on the bottom of the deck. So he's going to be the next card that we read. So let me go back to that sentence. Use the music of Israfel, the beauty and fragrance of Iofiel, and the purity of Shushiene, the peace of Halere, the harmony of Charmian, and the faith and transformative powers of Uziel. Consciously attune to the healing angels to invoke a cleansing and purifying atmosphere that facilitates physical, mental, and emotional healing. Once called, the angels direct the perfect process of healing, providing a cocoon of comfort, understanding, and love. Your body is your creation. It tells you what is working and what isn't. At birth, most of us were given a beautiful, vital body sustained by the natural free flow of the universal energy. Look how tireless and spontaneous young children are. They eat when hungry, sleep when tired, and fully express their feelings. As life experiences leave their impression, negative habits develop. They may help us survive, but they also impede our flow of natural energy. Chronic negative behaviors are reflected in the body as aches and pains, fatigue, and minor illness. When you don't notice, these signals then get stronger until there is a serious or fatal result. You can choose to do whatever it takes to be healed or give up the body. Okay, I have to say, because of the last few cards and what came out in the very end, where it was talking about passion, transformation with the cross, and then the last song that came through, which was the artist 6 a.m. and the song Life is Beautiful, where they were talking about death and how, it took a funeral for someone to realize how beautiful life really was, or it took death for someone to realize. I have a feeling that just for someone, like let's say you picked this reading and some parts of it kind of resonate, but not really. Like if you stuck it through all the way to the very end, and you are someone who is dealing with health and wellness issues in your body, I feel like what this is saying, I feel like it's talking about the fear of it, because the last 3 cards that we had in this right-hand column were all positive cards. And one other thing that I have to bring up before I read Israfel. So in another reading, I'm not going to say which one because you may or may not have chosen the other reading. There was a very similar message that came up, and also the card Uziel came up in another reading as well. And so the message that was in that had to do with your perception of your situation. And so, you may have already been drawn to like 2 of these piles as well. You may already know what I'm talking about, but if not, you may want to go back and see if you're drawn to one of the other piles. If you only chose this one and you've like come this far and you're like, well, most of this doesn't apply to me, but this last part does. Try choosing one of the other piles, because there is another pile that, again, the story didn't have anything to do with health, but the story did have to do with your perception. And how your perception shapes your future, your actions, your reactions, and all of these things. And so if this is you and you are going through some serious health concerns right now and you're worried about, am I going to live or die? I'm not here to predict anybody's death. I'm never even going to try to do that. I don't, if that's something that happens in your life, I don't even want to be the one to predict that, to be honest with you. But I am going to say this. I think that if you are dealing with health concerns, I think it would be a beautiful thing to be able to appreciate and enjoy the full beauty and color of every single day, regardless of whether or not it was your last. So I'm going to go now and I'm going to read this Israfel card and see how that plays in. But the very, very last thought that I want to say is, my mother, she recently died from cancer. And this is not easy to say, but one of the things that I often think about is the chemotherapy and all of the treatment and everything that goes into fighting cancer, and how you have to make yourself miserable to make yourself better, right? What if that's not always the case? Like, what if, because we already know that our thoughts, our emotions, our perception can have a profound impact on our life. What if, and I don't want to be the one to, I don't want to predict anybody's anything, but, what if you were to get a diagnosis and rather than see it as the end of your life, I don't know, I just often wonder, like, what would my mom's life have been like had she not gone in for the chemotherapy? Because I think ultimately in the end, it was the chemotherapy that killed her, because she ended up with this swelling on her brain that, in the aftermath, we found some old medical records in her emails and things where they had contacted her to let her know that this was happening, this swelling that was happening in her brain that was, it was swelling, and then it was causing her, the tissue of her brain to sort of harden. And so she wasn't able to walk. She wasn't able to communicate with us. I'm sorry. What if she hadn't had all of those treatments and all of that chemotherapy, and we were able to have had, the last few days be very good and positive? So I'm going to go ahead and read this last card, and then we're going to end the reading here because I don't want to turn into a crybaby. So I'm actually going to take a minute and then we'll cut part of this out. Israfel, music. None sing so wildly well as the angel Israfel, and the giddy stars, so legends tell, ceasing their hymns, attend the spell of his voice all mute. By Edgar Allan Poe. Though all angels sing mighty praises to God, there is a special order consecrated to bringing us the music of the spheres. Israfel and his legions embody the creative word of God. Angels speak from the mind and sing from the heart, not as we do through the vocal cords. Their singing is like humming or chanting as they express tones without words. Think back to a time in your life when you heard music that was so powerful and beautiful you were carried away in ecstasy. The angels were there, touching the strings of your heart and spontaneously opening a channel to experience the irresistible force of their expression. Earth music is a weak reflection by comparison. These choirs are always on the lookout for open hearts and ears so that through them our world may be brought into tune. Spirit melodies are far more than material sound waves and carry pulsations of communication that all beings understand. Each of us takes part in the mighty orchestra of the universe, through which the angels send inspiration, purification, instruction, faith, and love to our yearning souls. In moments of stress, heroism, or illumination, the eternal self inwardly aligns with a particular anthem it requires for courage, balance, or serenity. Pray to be enraptured in the sublime spirit energy. Music is a vibration. It is said that the angels closest to God sing holy, holy, holy far more than praising God's greatness. They are gathering waves, Music is a vibration. It is said that the angels closest to God sing holy, holy, holy. Far more than praising God's greatness, they are gathering waves emanating from God and sending them into space. From their song, worlds are formed. This song of creation is condensed several times, making its way through the angelic hierarchy to be transformed into the archetypes and finally into our physical matter as light, sound, gravity, and radio waves. The old Ashkenazi pronunciation of the Hebrew word for holy is kadush. If you repeat this slowly and softly, it sounds like the surf. A gigantic energy field from the angels reaches Earth in waves just as the ocean pounds the beach. Carried upon these waves is the sacred name of God, the miracle of love available to all. Music is a powerful tool for transformation from the little self to the eternal self. Search for music that increases your ability to vibrate and feel. When music makes your body want to dance, you are opening to receive more light. When music touches your heart, you are opening to receive love. When music unleashes your sensuality and passion, you are becoming more alive. When music helps you express your anger and rage, you are opening to make room for the transformation that will ultimately take you home. When music breaks free the sadness in your heart, you feel an overpowering longing. This vibration is your direct connection with the energy of God, the angels, and your eternal self. Go beyond your concept of celestial music and seek the heartbeat of God in the rhythm of traffic or machinery. Heavy metal music, drumming, and rock and roll also contain the energy and wisdom of the ages, finding ears that might not hear another way. Hear the music of the spheres and become aware of your judgments and how often you stop yourself or close down. Listen for the voice of God where you least expect it, and remember that you are united with the angels and all of creation as an instrument of the eternal. Join with the angelic host to sing praises in your own special way. And the music attached to this particular card is Iolia, Angel Love. I'm going to actually hold this up so that you can read it because I think I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. And then we have Greg Braden and Jonathan Goldman, The Divine Name, Sounds from the God Code. So I hope that helps. If that did not resonate, please stay tuned. There may be another reading here for you that does.